first state that it's not, this position hasn't been developed because of financial problems. Currently, we have a balanced budget, emergency funds, reserve funds, and we have revenues to meet the bond obligations. There hasn't been really any noted problems or weaknesses with the current situation. This position is really to ensure independent tracking of the revenues and expenses of our city. It will have the expertise of the CPA along with the delegation and separation of the duties when it comes to a revenue standpoint for our city. Proper investment avenues will be looked at, tracking of funds in the correct department, meeting with our accountants on a regular basis to really further ensure the financial systems of the city. I think it should be a sense of relief for the residents that Peru is taking additional steps to ensure the financial stability of our city, and hope that this position will accomplish that task. So tonight I'd like to make a motion to hire the selected candidate. The candidate will be working here for $62,000 a year, plus the benefits that the normal full-time employee would receive. That candidate will be released to the public after we meet all of our background checks and things of that nature.
I will second that, Your Honor.
A motion by Alderman Powell, second by Alderman Ferrari, to hire the selected candidate for the new position of finance officer and paid at the rate of $62,000. Is there any discussion?
The only thing I add is that there was some question about requirements, and I do think it's very important the city hire a CPA. You know, when you're dealing with public money, I think you want to make sure you have someone who has the proper certification and qualifications. So if we're hiring an engineer, we get someone who's licensed, or a CPA, we should find someone who's licensed also.
I agree with that. There were some applications that had years of experience and expertise that were not CPAs, and that was one of the job clarifications. I think you stated it very well. I agree with you.
And the other thing is the city did interview, all the candidates who met the requirements were interviewed. That is my understanding, correct?
That's right. Gary, is there anything that you further want to add to this position?
No, I think that the general public has to understand that financially we've come a long way over the last 5 or 6 years. And now we're to the point now where we have to strengthen internal controls, and we have to sit there and strengthen the accounting procedures that we have. And the individual that we're hiring tonight, being a CPA, is basically being put in place with that designation because he's going to have to deal with a lot of CPAs. Also, it is, like I said, after having to deal with Moody's and a bunch of other people over the years, you need to have the certain qualifications that this particular individual will bring to the table for us. So, like I said, I know that I am extremely excited about bringing this particular individual in. I think the council is, and I think that we're going to put together a nice little financial division that I think will be a very big asset to the city of Peru.
Anybody else?
Well, just when you're talking about a financial division, the idea is to pull that out of the clerk's umbrella and put that in its own department so that the people receiving cash in the clerk's office are not the people who, you really have that separation of duties, which is important in this business.
Yeah, you're talking a city of revenues in excess of $50 million. If you look to the private sector and you have a business that large, you may see a whole department of CPAs with that financial ability. So I think the city's certainly on the right step.
I had the opportunity to sit through the interview process, and at least with this individual, and I was quite impressed with his education and enthusiasm, so I'm quite interested and excited to see him start with us. I'm in favor.
Okay, if there's any further comments? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote for approval.
Alderman Carl? Aye. Ferrari?
Aye.
Waldorf?
Aye.
Coach?
Aye.
Perez?
Aye.
Aye. Bueller?
Aye.
Seven.
Okay, motion